Hello everyone, today's topic is energy security. There is a prominent agenda in the economic and social affairs of most countries, and that is the future of energy, understood in the context of how we will ensure energy for future generations. In this regard, a transition to more efficient and broadly accessible energy sources has been proposed. Energy security lies in a country's autonomous capacity to efficiently and sustainably meet its internal demand, both now and in the future. Furthermore, this issue delves into political matters of strategy to generate valuable assets and establish a position of power concerning the asset, which in this case, is energy. As an example, let's look back to the 1970s during an oil embargo. Countries managed to nationalize this asset and gain control over its pricing. The revelation of the dangers associated with dependence, especially on energy from a highly conflict-ridden region like the Middle East and an indomitable cartel of exporting countries, OPEC, prompted industrialized nations, the largest oil consumers, to strategize reducing their dependence and ensuring supply in this new geopolitical reality. From this historical example, we can see that energy security becomes a matter of strategy when it transforms into a tool for asserting sovereignty or establishing power relations with other nations. Energy security goes hand in hand with development, as human beings, in developed countries, consume about 125,000 kilocalories through various industrial, domestic, and transportation activities. As seen in the following image, energy security can be linked to a society's quality of life and income level. Among the main challenges of maintaining sovereignty in energy matters are coverage and environmental impact. For instance, in Colombia, there is still room for improvement, as the residential sector has access to only 18% of the country's total capacity, while transportation accounts for 24%. Additionally, the challenge of environmental impact is currently tied to the consumption of basic raw materials like coal and hydrocarbons, which still have significant macroeconomic and social dependencies. In low-income countries, this situation can worsen, as they can be vulnerable to fluctuations in oil and gas prices in international markets. Furthermore, a lack of energy diversification can limit energy access in rural or remote areas. In high-income countries, heavy reliance on hydrocarbons makes them vulnerable to geopolitical risks and oil price volatility. Transitioning to more sustainable energy sources is crucial to reduce this dependence. The table below illustrates the impact of fossil energy consumption compared to other materials, highlighting the importance of energy security. This graph demonstrates the necessary energy transitions to improve impact, efficiency, and durability when obtaining energy from basic raw materials. This includes processes like cultivation, harvesting, and pretreatment required to produce biofuels from various plant materials, along with their environmental impacts, compared to the direct use of petroleum derivatives. Now, let's focus on the topic of energy security in Latin America. Latin America and the Caribbean play a significant geopolitical role in the face of major powers' demand for energy resources. The region boasts substantial reserves of oil and coal, along with significant energy potential in natural gas, hydroelectricity, and various renewable resources. Bloomberg, 2023, estimates that Latin America holds 20% of global oil reserves and produces 6% of the world's total oil. In 2010, Latin America produced approximately 7.2 billion barrels of oil equivalent, BEP, of primary energy and 3.3 billion BEP of secondary energy, with non-renewable sources accounting for roughly 80% of primary production. One of the key global energy concerns is the transportation sector, which consumes about 19% of the world's energy, with 95% of it coming from petroleum. According to the OAS Department of Sustainable Development, there are three key strategies to address the challenges of energy security in development: diversification of energy resources, interconnections or cooperation between countries, and energy savings. Diversifying energy resources involves expanding fuel and electricity generation options, diversifying transportation fuel choices, and broadening fossil fuel supply sources. For cooperation between countries, the proposal is to interconnect energy grids, supply networks, and harmonize energy policies. Lastly, for energy savings, there's an expectation of developing demand management programs, commercial efficiency improvements, and enhancing transportation systems. In the medium and long term, various scenarios are expected. Over the next 20 years, Latin America's energy demand is projected to increase by 1.4 times, and over the next 90 years, it is expected to triple.